Tom Holland has done some crazy things for a movie, whether he's dangling 100 feet in the air or backflipping off the Washington Monument. When you really think about how hard he's pushed himself, it's no wonder he's taken a year-long break from acting. The guy is seriously dedicated. These are the most intense behind-the-scenes moments Tom handled like a boss. Tom has one thing that sets him apart from the other Spider-Men: his impressive dance and gymnastics background. This definitely came in handy when it came to doing his own stunts for Spider-Man Far From Home.
And I really appreciate that I didn't break anything.
Whenever there were any stunts that were too dangerous for Tom to do, stunt doubles would step in, but Tom still had to get very used to doing backflips off of trampolines and flying around on wire for this role. But Tom's scariest stunt for this movie would have to be the time that he and Zendaya were hoisted 100 feet into the air on a crane with a body cam strapped to them.
Are you too good?
I got you.
The only thing protecting them from a nasty fall were a couple of cardboard boxes placed for safety. They were dropped and swung in a massive arc with Zendaya screaming the whole time.
Never doing that again.
But Tom would much rather be dangling 100 feet in the air than dealing with the mental strain of the crowded room. Tom had a really hard time separating himself from his role in the crowded room. He said, "I was seeing myself in him, but in my personal life." Tom had an especially tough time with this because his character was based on American criminal Billy Milligan, the first person to be found guilty for reasons of insanity. You can see why Tom said it had him exploring certain emotions that I have definitely never experienced before. Tom even had a meltdown at home when they were in the middle of filming, and he says that he thought, "I need to shave my head because I need to get rid of this character." He didn't do it, but you can tell the kind of stress he was under. Tom said, "I'm no stranger to the physical aspects of the job, doing the whole action movie thing, but the mental aspect, it really beat me up, and it took a long time for me to recover afterwards, to sort of get back to reality." This role led to him taking a year off from acting to focus on his mental health, which says a lot, considering he didn't even take a break after doing the stunts for Uncharted. Now, what would we do without our work friends? Tom got along famously with his stunt doubles on Uncharted, but that doesn't mean there wasn't friction behind the scenes. But we still think Tom was pulling his weight.
You alright, mate? Yeah. All good, Tom? Thanks for your help.
And if you'd like to help us out, we'd appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button. But anyway.
With Uncharted, I was shooting stunts that are far bigger than anything I've done before.
Tom was hit by that replica car a total of 17 times, flying back horizontally on wires. There would even be times when Tom was attached to a spinning box, roughly 100 feet in the air.
And then I would basically hang on until it would throw me off.
This segment took them roughly 5 weeks to shoot.
And it was really scary, but I think that level of fear just makes that scene that much more authentic.
It's a good thing Tom's so practiced at working through his nerves. He's gonna need that for when he meets Jake Gyllenhaal. Tom was a real hero on set for Spider-Man Far From Home. Or at least he became a hero to Jake Gyllenhaal, which may seem strange considering how nervous Tom was to meet the older actor.
And what Marvel do sometimes is they would completely change the lines overnight.
Tom's gotten pretty used to that sort of thing by now. He's even improv with Robert Downey Jr. More on that later. But for now, let's just say that Jake wasn't used to it.
So Jake was like panicking.
Can you even imagine how weird a position Tom found himself in?
So I found myself on day one with working with one of my idols, like, "It's okay, man, it's okay," like...
Even Jake was impressed by how well Tom handled the whole thing.
It's like he was me in so many situations.
According to Jake, he'd been acting like a wooden board before that talk with Tom, and afterwards, he did the scene no problem. From that point forward, the two became fast friends, even getting into a fun little push-up competition on set.
Next one. I'll get the next one in.
But we wonder if he still misses Robert. So there may be a reason why Tom is more used to line changes than Jake. He's had a lot of them working with Robert Downey Jr. Tom said that the long 7-month audition process for the role of Spider-Man was horrible, but there was one saving grace. When Tom showed up to do his screen test with 6 other kids, he was surprised to find out that his scene partner would be Robert. Can you imagine? A lot of people would fold under the pressure, but not Tom. He and Robert got right to riffing off each other. And the funny thing is that Tom's agent had told him, quote, Marvel likes you to learn the words exact, meaning that he wasn't allowed to improv. But according to Tom, on the first take, Downey just completely changed the scene. Tom was a little worried he hadn't gotten the role when he didn't hear back after 6 weeks, but it all turned out to be alright. Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios, said that Tom was great at keeping up with Robert off-book to some very funny ad-libs. And of course, nobody could rock these water stunts like Tom does. Alright, now you can't help but feel bad for Tom when a stunt goes wrong. And one stunt on Spider-Man Far From Home definitely didn't go as planned. Tom was rigged to a ratchet, which, for those of you who don't know, is a machine that Tom describes as
I will zoom backwards and slam it into a wall.
At the same time, the on-set SFX guy was meant to hit a button that would dump thousands of gallons worth of water on Tom.
And you best believe they didn't heat the water.
But cold showers wasn't all he had to worry about. After a count of 3, Tom slammed back into the wall.
And then all I hear is the SFX guy go, sorry!
Not what you want to hear.
And then the water just went
The wall of water came too late. And you know what that means.
so we had to do it a second time.
Luckily, the SFX guy hit the button right the next time. But you can imagine how dazed Tom was after doing the stunt twice. Still, it was worth it.
But it looks great.
He's been through worse, like climbing the Washington Monument. Tom can't even watch this scene back without feeling sick. That was really him climbing the Washington Monument, or a scaled version of it anyway. Specific sections of the monument had been built on a soundstage in Atlanta so that Tom could crawl up its side with the use of wires, and even backflip off the top from a safe height. But according to stunt double Chris Silcox, Tom was terrified to film the moment where he had to stop in the elevator shaft. Stunt coordinator George Cottle needed to talk Tom through it and, quote, made sure that he knew all the different things that he had to do. Only then was Tom willing to do the scene. But he had to wear a corset harness that was so tight he could actually feel his lunch coming back up while he was dangling upside down. This was a real problem for Tom, because as he says, you're in the mask, if you throw up, you drown. Since the scene made it in the movie, Tom said it was all worthwhile, but every time I see it, I get nauseous. Honestly, we're impressed that he managed to keep his American accent through all that. Tom may have taken his American accent a little too far. He'd worked with dialect coach Rick Lipton, or as he calls him, Pretty Ricky, on multiple movies now, everything from Spider-Man Homecoming to Uncharted.
He helps me with my accent.
Tom considers Rick to be one of his, quote, best mates. He's even blamed the fact that, quote, Rick wasn't there that day, for the fact that his access went, according to him, full English, while filming the sandwich shop scene for Spider-Man Homecoming.
And with pickles, and can you smush it down real flat? Thanks.
Tom said it was so bad, they had to cut it so you don't see my face as I say hello, because my accent was pure English. But Tom's definitely gotten a lot better at it now. He even says, I've been working in an American accent so much that whenever I tell a story, like at a dinner party, I kind of immediately start speaking in an American accent because it feels more comfortable. Well, at this point, Tom's even worried that if he has to act with his natural accent on set again, it'll be, quote, a little bit complicated for me. Now, talk about a lasting change. Tom has pushed himself through some pretty amazing work. Whether he's rifling with the best of them or getting drenched with thousands of gallons worth of water. Still, we're glad to hear that he's taking time off for his mental health. Now, what would you have to say is Tom Holland's bravest behind-the-scenes moment? We'd love to hear what you think, so make sure to let us know down in the comment section.